For centuries, diamonds were symbols of status, love, and luxury, mined from deep within the earth and cut by master jewelers in Antwerp, Mumbai, and Tel Aviv. But today, the heart of the diamond world has shifted. Quietly and quickly, China has become the global powerhouse of lab-grown diamonds, producing over 70% of the world's small synthetic stones. What began as a technological curiosity is now a market tsunami reshaping the $100 billion diamond industry. In factories humming with precision machines, Chinese labs are creating flawless gems in weeks cheaper, cleaner, and nearly indistinguishable from their natural counterparts. This disruption isn't just cosmetic, it's geopolitical, it's economic, it's generational. From fashion to advanced electronics, diamonds are no longer just a luxury. They are a resource, a strategy, and a sign of changing global power. In this video, we dive into how China conquered the diamond industry and why the rest of the world should pay attention. The transformation of China into the world's lab-grown diamond capital wasn't just fast, it was strategic. In regions like Henan and Shandong, entire industrial zones were repurposed for diamond synthesis, leveraging high-pressure, high-temperature, and chemical vapor deposition techniques. Chinese scientists began growing crystals that are chemically and visually identical to natural diamonds. Backed by state subsidies and private investment, these factories scaled production rapidly. Unlike traditional diamond mining, which is slow, dirty, and geopolitically sensitive, China's approach was clean. Today, over 70% of the world's small synthetic diamonds originate in Chinese labs. These gems are indistinguishable to the naked eye, but cost up to 80% less. As China flooded the market with flawless lab diamonds, the traditional mining industry was caught off guard. India, Botswana, and Belgium began losing share. What was once seen as fake is now embraced by retailers and consumers alike. China didn't just enter the market, it rewrote its rules. The jewelry world was never prepared for a disruption this elegant. For generations, the diamond trade followed a rigid structure: mined in Africa, cut in India or Belgium, sold in New York or Paris. Value was defined by rarity, legacy, and the natural origin of the stone. But China's lab-grown revolution shattered that model. Suddenly, flawless diamonds could be created in weeks and sold for a fraction of the cost. For high-end jewelers, this wasn't just a pricing issue, it was an identity crisis. Should they embrace the change or risk becoming irrelevant? Major brands were divided. Some leaned into transparency, offering collections labeled as lab-created. Others doubled down on the mystique of natural stones. But the customer had already changed. Millennials and Gen Z consumers, more concerned with ethics and climate impact than tradition, began choosing lab-grown over mined stones. For them, beauty wasn't about millions of years underground. It was about brilliance, affordability, and sustainability. The result? A generational shift in values that's redefining what luxury means in the 21st century. Diamonds have always dazzled on fingers and necklines, but their future might lie far from red carpets. As China's lab-grown production surged, a parallel revolution emerged: diamonds for technology. Synthetic diamonds, especially industrial grade, are now critical components in sectors like quantum computing, aerospace, electric vehicles, and high-performance semiconductors. Why? Because diamonds are the hardest known natural material, with superior thermal conductivity and electromagnetic transparency. They can withstand intense conditions where traditional materials fail. China's tech industry quickly recognized this potential. State-backed labs began producing diamonds not for beauty, but for durability, speed, and energy efficiency. In quantum chips, for example, diamonds allow faster data processing with minimal energy loss. In EVs, they improve battery control systems and reduce overheating. The sparkle is gone, but in its place comes raw performance. This is where China's diamond dominance becomes strategic. It's not about weddings. It's about who controls the materials that will define the technologies of tomorrow. China's diamond dominance isn't just about innovation, it's about leverage. As lab-grown diamonds flood global markets, traditional mining economies are starting to feel the impact. In African nations like Botswana, Namibia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, diamond exports have long been lifelines. But as demand for natural stones falls, their economies face rising uncertainty. At the same time, European polishing hubs like Antwerp and Indian cutting centers in Surat are losing global share. What used to be a tightly controlled supply chain is now fragmented. China not only produces the stones it can refine, export, and integrate them into tech supply chains, all within its borders. That vertical control sends geopolitical ripples. Western powers are raising concerns over origin labeling, trade transparency, and potential overdependence on Chinese materials. Just as China dominates rare earth minerals, it now controls the world's fastest-growing diamond segment. The message is clear. In the next generation of global materials, whoever controls the labs may also control the leverage. The diamond industry is no longer being shaped by miners or legacy brands. It's being reshaped by a new generation of consumers. Millennials and Gen Z now dominate luxury spending globally, and their values are rewriting the rules. But they come without the ethical weight. No conflict zones, no forced labor, no environmental destruction. A lab-grown diamond symbolizes conscious love, science, progress, and care for the planet. Viral videos compare sparkle and ethics side by side, and the verdict is clear. The future is lab-grown. It's no longer about a rock dug from the earth, but a gem created with purpose and transparency. For Gen Z and millennials, authenticity isn't about age or origin, it's about values. And in this new era, a diamond doesn't just say forever, it says who you are. And for a generation facing rising costs, they're significantly more affordable fund, 50 to 80% cheaper than their mined counterparts. They're asking questions that past generations didn't. Was this diamond ethically sourced? Was anyone harmed in the process? How sustainable is it? In 2023 alone, lab-grown diamond sales rose by 38%, while demand for natural stones dropped. By 2030, analysts predict lab diamonds may overtake mined stones in volume. Lab-grown diamonds offer answers that resonate. They're chemically and visually identical to mined diamonds, but the appeal goes deeper than price. For these consumers, meaning matters more than tradition. They want jewelry that reflects their identity and beliefs. Social media has accelerated the shift. Engagement photos, unboxings, and honest reviews have normalized lab-grown diamonds as both beautiful and meaningful. Luxury brands are adapting. While some like Tiffany hesitate, others like Pandora and Roy have embraced the change and are thriving. This is more than a market trend, it's a cultural shift. For over a century, diamonds were framed as eternal, unchanging symbols of love, status, and power. But industries are not eternal. The diamond world is being rewritten not by nature, but by innovation, values, and new generations who demand more than sparkle. China's lab-grown rise wasn't just technological, it was cultural, economic, and strategic. In just a decade, it transformed diamonds from earthbound treasures into engineered expressions of choice. Now, a gem is no longer judged by its geological age, but by what it represents: sustainability, transparency, and progress. The shift isn't only about price or production, it's about meaning. From lab to love, from luxury to logic, the diamond has evolved. In this new chapter, China holds the tools, the scale, and the ambition to shape the future of brilliance. The question is, no longer is it real, but what does it stand for? Because in a world that changes faster than ever, forever is being redefined, not in the ground, but in the lab. If this story changed the way you see diamonds, share it. Let's redefine what brilliance means together. Subscribe for more deep dives into the industries shaping tomorrow. And remember, beauty fades, but meaning endures.